Stripping off is struck off. The charity Skinny Dip in Jersey banned for breaking a 1959 decency law, despite Guernsey permitting exactly the same thing.
To backtrack on some 65-year-old law seems to be really strange to me.
First tonight, it would appear to be a bit of harmless fun to raise money for a much-needed charity. But Jersey's first organised skinny dip has been banned thanks to a little-known decency law from the 1950s.
The event was originally approved by both the bailiff and the constable of St John, with any concerns seemingly surrounding parking rather than nudity. But after the regulations were checked, the swim has been cancelled for breaking the policing of beaches regulations. Katya Fowler has this report.
Getting undressed, ready for a daily dip. For this one, Ross does have his swimming trunks on. But in a fortnight's time, he'd planned not to, as host of Jersey's first ever organised skinny dip.
I do feel that Jersey is very far behind the times. They do it in 555 different locations in the UK for the Great British Skinny Dip. They also do it in Guernsey, and certainly standards of public decency have changed in the last 65 years.
In Guernsey, such an event is allowed and has been hugely successful. However, in Jersey, it would appear not, despite initially being given the green light by the authorities. This all boils down to Jersey's policing of beaches regulation, which says no person shall on any beach behave or be clothed in any manner reasonably likely to offend public decency. However, that law was made before the moon landing and before England won the World Cup. It was meant to take place in Bonwy Bay, but the constable for the parish, Andy Jeon, says he will now talk to legal experts to try and see how the event could take place in the future, therefore following Guernsey's lead.
We've been doing the skinny dip for 4 years. We do our next one in September. So it's really important for public freedom in this day and age as well. It's a lovely fun thing to do to raise money for charity. So we're up to nearly £11,000 now that we've raised that the charities wouldn't have had without us doing it.
And raising thousands of pounds was exactly what Ross was hoping to do, for a cause close to his heart, Jersey hospice care. Boss is telling me events like this are incredibly important.
We've got an ageing population here on Jersey, we all know that, and so demand for the hospices services are increasing year on year, and with that comes that increasing reliance on fundraising. So it's so important that supporters out there are doing so many different things for us.
But this will be one event now crossed off their calendar, with Ross hoping for a change in the law, which is decades old.
Well, Katya joins us live now. And Katya, what has Constable Andy Jeon had to say about this?
Well, he said he can't be seen to be supporting an event that is in itself illegal. Now, the reason it can go ahead in places like the UK is because their legislation is slightly different. So while skinny dipping in itself isn't an offence, they do have something called outraging public decency. And as the name suggests, it has to be fairly outrageous. That's often things like indecent exposure or lewd behaviour, whereas here it's just sort of a blanket ban. Now, Constable Jeon did say if the police were called down to the event, they would have no choice but to act, but has said he is going to try and look into the law and bring it a little bit more up to date.
Katya, thank you very much indeed for that.